You know, we don't feed our bees at all, with the exception of this honey and chamomile tea I was telling them. What we give them while we lock them in there, so they have something to eat. It also, the chamomile tea helps their digestive systems because they give them this can of sugar water that has like antibiotics in it, probably. So it helps to ease their digestive system.
Just so they.
Yeah, it's best just to smoke yourself. Yeah. So that they. You know, basically.
They think you're on fire.
Yeah. Instead of using it on them, you know, we kind of try to.
Huh. That's so cool.
They're not big fans of smoke, so we don't really like to use it.
No, neither am I.
We don't have to. Let's see. So this is a hive tool. This is what you use to work the hives. This is another type. This is a little bit larger. It's used to basically get in between the frames, because once they get propolised up and everything, they get sticky, so you need to be able to pry stuff out. So this is the beekeeper's best friend. It's next to the veil. Cool.
So did your hives at home make it through the winter just fine?
Yeah, we did lose one in the spring. We didn't lose it in the winter. We had a cold night, and you know, it just kind of... They broke their cluster, which I was telling Matt, that's how they keep warm. And when they break cluster, they eat food. And so they were eating food, and the temperature must have just dropped, and the wind came in, and it caught them broken. And that's quick death to a beehive, you know. Cold wind when they can't keep themselves warm. We warned you, this part's a little archaic, getting them out of because it's just of this little hole that they have to come out of. This tab right here, the queen is attached to this. There's a separate cage inside. I'll show you the queen when we pull her out. And inside her cage is what we call attendants. So they're the bees that are feeding her, cleaning her. But a queen doesn't eat herself. You know, she can't feed herself really. So they feed her, they clean her, they preen her, they keep her, you know, happy basically. And so the attendants are in there, and then there's a cork on each side of her cage. And attached to one side of the cork is a whole mass of candy that when we pull the cork out, the bees will both eat from the inside and outside to free the queen. It takes a few days, but that allows the queen to get adjusted to the new space, the bees to get adjusted to the queen, and then when she's finally free, she'll be able to start laying her eggs. Does that make sense?
Right, and the candy is natural?
The candy, no, because it came from these guys. It's sugar and water. It's powdered sugar and water, basically, is what it is. There's usually nothing else involved. I can grab the queen. So this spray, this little bit of water, it just keeps their wings wet, it keeps them doing something, drinking the water and stuff off of each other. Wow, there's a lot of heat coming off that. You feel that?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. You can feel the heat coming off the side of the cage. It's pretty wild.
And they were making the heat?
Yeah. They're definitely many. See, this is what they do with the queen.
I see it, yeah.
They really like her. And I'm just going to brush these guys off inside, and I'll show you her.
That's neat.
And if it was any warmer, these guys would be flying.
Yeah, they
all
would be
over the
flying a
place.
lot more. Maybe just a little spray have to keep these guys down. So they like her. Okay. Okay, so you guys want to see her?
Sure.
Don't be afraid of the bees. They're going to be really focused on her. Let's see. There she is.
I see her.
You see her? She's the bigger bee. She's plump
Really
in her abdomen.
Cool.
Yeah, wow. That's really cool.
And you see the sugar that they, looks like one of her attendants died. The sugar, that's what they eat through that white stuff. Kevin is the master at popping the cork.
So when the attendants die inside there, they just...
They won't, I mean, there's just one inside there that died. The rest of them, they'll be the ones who eat from her side out to get her to be free.
And then they're all free.
Yeah. And they'll have this marshmallow probably eaten out by the end of the day. So don't worry about the little buzzers you'll see flying around the hive. You'll be like, oh my God, they can't get in. But
they will.
They'll open that up, and they will, they'll be able to get her out. Hello, ladies. Oh, everything okay? Yeah, I just busted the cage. Yeah, that's
fine.
That's all right, as long as they'll be able to eat through it. It's fine. Just put that in there so that I put it so that the candy, if it does get hot, won't melt into there. It will melt out of the hole, and out of the cage.
All right.
Just
Now,
so this
comes
is
a
the
little
not
more,
fun spot.
a little more violent.
Let me just get the. You think they'd
Spray.
make it so? I'm gonna try and be as nice with. Yep. Spray inside the cage. First time we ever did this, we were like, oh my god, this
Yeah.
is so terrible.
Did you know?
We're better
was
at
gonna
it
be like
now.
this?
We're better at it now. No. Well, we assumed it would be something like this, but it would take us so long to do it, and really the best thing to do is do it as fast as you can.
Right.
Put them through as little as the stress as you can. And we'll put the cage next to the hive so any remaining ones can fly out and find where they're supposed to be going.
Because you just can't get everyone out.
Yeah, without beating the hell
Yep.
out of them. You know what I mean? Like, they can take a
Yep.
little bit of that,
Yep.
that's fine. They'll drop from trees and they'll bounce. They do this in nature, this falling. So they can take it, but to get pounded, continually, they're not into. You guys want to take a picture inside before
Yeah.
they get all... Next time you see them, they won't look anything like this. They'll be
Oh, yeah.
all hanging on their clusters and,
That's
they're
so
so-
cool,
and
guys,
doing
I'm
their
telling you.
thing. You're going to be shocked about how cool they are. They really are so fun. This cool weather actually helps to keep them more docile, and more close to the hive.
As long as they know it's
So-
theirs.
That is hiving a package.
Wow.
Wow, I thought it would take you guys longer than that. That's great.
Well, we're good.
Yeah. Well, how many are you doing?
Today we are doing 5, and
All right.
then on the 21st we're probably going to be doing at least 10.
Ooh.
So, and then we're swarm season, which is really fun. That's when the swarms come and you're cutting them out of trees and you're
Oh my
catching
gosh.
them, and that's a whole other ordeal. It's really fun though. It really is. Yeah, so they'll probably eat that marshmallow out. The same thing. The stragglers will be eating it from the outside. The inside girls will be eating it from the
And this one's a
inside.
drone. They don't have a stinger.
Yeah,
They
they
can't
can't
sting,
wow.
sting you.
It's a male. It has the bigger
My dad
bigger eyes.
used to love to hold them and show them to people. He'd be like, look, look. They'd be like, how are you doing that? He'd never tell them the secret. Doing
that's
some sting.
Yeah, they actually look a little different. Don't
Yeah, they're
they?
a little bit
with the
bigger.
wing material and
Yeah.
And they can't feed themselves either. But it doesn't mean
So-
they're not important. They're not only being a sperm source, they also are responsible for the collective wisdom of the hive. So their collective knowledge through generations is actually passed on the male side of the bees. So they are very important.
Yeah.
A
oh
lot
look, they're working that thing already.
Yep, they'll be out here. You'll be seeing these guys from now on.
Oh,
And we'll
no.
be back. We'll probably skip tomorrow, but we'll probably come back the day after that, and after work, probably afternoon, just to check on them.
Okay.
We'll see if they've released their queen, that sort of thing. And then, as long as they're eating and they're almost ready to release their queen, we'll let them do it themselves. If for some reason they're not, getting through it or something, we'll release her ourselves, and that way she'll be able to start laying. And then,
And
as
that's
soon as she starts laying, it's on. In 14 days, the population of that will double, and then
Good.
it'll just every day after that it'll just keep building and building and building.
Great,
The beehive had
wonderful.
50,000 bees.
Well, doesn't the garden sound even better now with the buzz?
yeah.
It adds life, It really adds.
You have a bee.
Oh, good.
Is that a drone? I imagine.
Let me see.
No, it could be a regular bee.
That's a drone. Yep. No worries. You wear it like a brooch. Put it on your That's it. This is a female. You can see they're smaller. They're still, they're not aggressive. Only if they're only when you're messing with their brood chamber. The brood is their babies. Really, only when you're in there they get, they start to get really aggressive. So usually most things are by accident. And Kevin got stung under his armpit today because a bee happened to just
be
quietly
there.
walk up his sleeve, and
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Moved and it pushed against me. And stuff.
Yeah, well, that's usually when animals attack you, is when they're
So now, so they'll start to lay. She'll start to lay
As soon as she
As
comes
soon
out,
as they eat her out of the cage,
which could be tonight or tomorrow or the next day,
she
will
walk
just
up and start laying.
start to lay
Because
in
there
those
is
cells.
comb in there.
And they're going to start building. They'll both be cleaning the comb in there. They'll be building their new comb.